we're on the way to the range. I did a volquartsen accurate trigger job on my Ruger Mark IV Lite. It originally came with a 5-pound trigger out of the box, and this trigger job changes it to 2.5 pounds. It was very involved. The first thing they said in the instruction video was a lot of people think it's a little bit too involved and they end up sending the firearm to volquartsen, the company, for them to do. But I mean, I've done light gunsmithing and did all the triggers on all my other firearms, so I figured I'd tackle it myself. And it indeed was a lot of little parts. You had to take the whole entire thing apart, and there was some small things. So for anybody that does it, just take your time, watch the video, then go back, watch part of the video, pause it, watch it again, and then do that step. Try to do that step for each one, because there's some really small pieces, and if you lose it, or you know, it's just going to be a headache. But I mean, everything went together, and my dry fire test seemed like it worked. So we're going to head out there and shoot the Ruger Mark IV Lite suppressed with a Banish 22 suppressor from Silencer Central and a Hollow Sun red dot. So we will get to the range and see how everything goes. Okay, trigger works. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we were shooting at. So it's okay. When I did the trigger job, somehow the whole thing needed to be resighted because that stuff is ugly. I was completely missing the target at 25 yards. Either way, trigger works. Just have to get it sighted back in, so don't mind that ugliness. We're just working out some bugs. Well, that was quick. It was only there for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. I wanted to see if the trigger worked, if the gun cycled, all that stuff. Yes, all that stuff worked, so that's a win. The other thing that I don't know why I didn't realize I'd have to do this, but when I first came to shoot that gun sighted in before I did the trigger job, I had it dialed in nice and tight at 25 yards. But apparently after doing all that trigger work to it, it was way off. I have no idea where we were shooting. So I had to move it in from 25 yards to 15 yards, and I still didn't know where we were shooting. It was that off. After walking it back on paper, was able to get a decent half-inch group at 25 yards. I'm not really too worried, or I wasn't really too worried about having that dialed in today. I was kind of rushing myself. I was mainly just making sure the mechanics of the gun worked, and they did. So as you'll see in the portion before this, it was an ugly polka dotted looking target, but like I said, the mechanics work, the trigger job was great, everything cycled, safety worked, slide stop worked, or bolt stop worked, magazine release was good. So yeah, next I want to talk about is I was always looking for a holster for this so I can carry it when I go to check my traps on the trap line to dispatch animals. I was having a heck of a time trying to find a holster that would accommodate that gun with a red dot and the suppressor, because that's the big part of it if I'm going to be going to some of these farms and I want to be a little hush-hush about it. They do make holsters for the Ruger Mark IV, but the suppressor won't fit through it. There's another company, T-Rex, that makes a holster, but you have to have a lower rail with a light, so the holster utilizes the retention of the light to hold the gun in, and the Ruger Mark IV light does not have a lower rail, therefore I can't have a light, and then I cannot use that holster, which is fine by me because it is still kind of expensive for what I'm using it for. So I will show you how I modified a tack sole $40 holster to fit my gun with an optic and a suppressor. So this is what I came up with. So here's my solution to the holster problem. Like I said earlier, I bought this firearm, Ruger Mark IV Lite, because I want to take it out on a trap line to be able to dispatch animals with ease. Suppressor, red dot. T-Rex company makes a holster, but it requires you to have a tack light on the bottom here, so that when you put the firearm in the holster, the light clicks in and holds it, you know? So I don't have a rail, I don't have a light, so I can't use that holster, which is fine because it's a few $100 and I don't need that. So what I did was, I have this tack sole $40 holster that I got off Amazon for my other Ruger Mark IV. No suppressor, no optic or anything like that on it. And what I did was, this originally wouldn't go in because the suppressor is a little bit thicker. So what I did with this was, this piece was all the way down here, all right? So I cut it off here, trimmed out this little bit right here to fit the optic in there, so there's no clearance issues. Basically what it is, it's a open top clamshell where the retention is in the trigger guard. And originally I was gonna shave off this little contact point, this little ridge right here, because that's where the suppressor is hitting and not going in. But as soon as I lop this off and smooth out the edges to make it look cool, this fits right in there. Fits snug. Snug. Clicks in there good. Comes out no problem. As
Slides in no problem. I'm gonna attach that right there to my belt. You know. Boop, boop. And I'm super pleased with that. Like I said, 40 bucks, tax sole on Amazon. Fits the Ruger Mark Series, Mark IV. I can also still put my other Ruger Mark IV without the silencer in it, and everything was good to go. So that was a really cool budget-friendly solution to my holster issue. Yeah, it's amazing that they don't make specific holsters for this gun with a suppressor and an optic, or unless, I don't know, I'm just not being able to find one. But I looked pretty hard. I looked at all the forums, all the Reddits, all the subreddits and things like that, and everybody was still having the same kind of issue, wanting to have a holster for this setup. Clicks in there good. So today was a win of a day. Did the volquartsen accurate trigger replacement on this, which was a little finicky. A lot of small parts if you're not comfortable with it. Like I said, watch the video a couple times, watch each individual part, then do the step, watch the video, do the step, and watch the video, and keep continuing like that, because there's a lot of really small parts that you can lose. And but yeah, I mean, it works, it cycles. I didn't have any issues other than for some reason my shots were all over the place, and I don't know why, but I'll get that back to the range and fiddle fart around with that and dial that in. But for the purpose of what I need this for, I can chalk this up as done. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, or not. This is just something I like to do so I can go back and look at it. But yeah, thank you for watching.